What has changed? And my goal at this point in my life is really about me becoming my best self. I don't always get it right, but I try my best. And the journey towards my potential is not a straight line. I zig and I zag. Sometimes I take one step forward and I take two steps backwards. But I've come to love the experience of what I call the adventure, the experience of what I call the journey. I wake up every day and I have a bigger vision, a bigger goal of where I want to get to. Previously, I used to be very, very focused on doing things in a certain way. And if it didn't fall within that particular approach that I had planned, that affected me. I've become a little bit less emotionally invested in how I get to my desired destination. All I care about is getting there, doing it within the golden rule, helping people along the way as I journey, and enjoying the process. And I was able to accept that change because I understood after a number of years of trying and not succeeding, or trying and just being frustrated, I recognized that there was a difference between a strategy and tactics. The strategy is the bigger plan. I call it the bird's eye view. Imagine yourself standing in an apartment building that is, say, 40 or 50 stories above ground level. At that height, you can see your surrounding very clearly. You can see much better from an aerial view than someone standing at ground level. So you can see where you are in terms of your location, and you can see exactly where you're trying to get to. And from that point in time above, it's so simple, it's so easy. You just know I have to go in this direction. And you can plot a straight line. However, if you take the elevator down to the ground floor and you exit the building, one of the things you find out very carefully and very interestingly is that there are detours. There are streets you can drive down if you're driving, or even walk down if you're walking. And some of those streets do not necessarily have two-way traffic. Some might have you go down a different path because it's a one-way street. And that's part of the journey of life. You have detours. So you have to navigate through some of the things you hadn't planned. Now, if you came down from the elevator to the ground floor and you were going to go in the direction that you saw when you were on the 50th floor, you're going to run into obstacles and you're going to get frustrated because perhaps you can't go in that straight line because there's a building. Perhaps maybe there's a piece of on pedestrianized road path. Maybe there's a body of water. Whatever it might be. When you're down on the ground floor, you have to be flexible. And that is where tactics come in. The tactics are the daily action steps that you take. Tactics are the implementation approaches that you're performing on the ground, on the spot. And so one of the things you have to do is adapt your tactics. Keep your strategy fixed, keep your vision solid, but adapt your tactics. And those who have that flexibility of adapting their tactics are those who enjoy the journey. Because it means if they run into an obstacle, they just smile and say, I just need to make a change. I need to correct a few things. And they just keep going. If you were going to travel from one location to another, and there was a major, maybe a road accident, that if you had continued in that direction and following that route, maybe you would have perhaps been part of the accident. If a detour was provided, guiding you to follow a different route, to avoid that particular incident, one of the things you have to be grateful for is that gift, the gift of perseverance, the gift of, preserving you. Life trying to preserve you, not perseverance. Preserving you. Life is trying to guide you down a path that would be better for you in the long run. And so I started learning this philosophy about living, which is have a vision, have a goal, have a plan, have a strategy, but be willing to change your tactics as you go along, because sometimes it will hail on your crops, and sometimes it will rain on your parade. You may have done all the right things. You may have given your best. You may have been diligent, honest, trustworthy, hardworking, and things don't work out. And the people who succeed in life are those who have this uncanny ability to change their tactics as soon as they see something isn't working. So I've become my best self. I don't get it always right, but I try my best. It's not a straight line, and that's okay. It's my life. It's my potential. It's my journey.